Of course, last night, a great night for Atlanta, a bad night for Philly, and an absolutely horrible night for Ben Simmons. But before I get to the bad, and the bad truly was terrible, how about we do something positive? How about we shine some light on the positive? I'm going to do that because the bad was so bad that the bad is overshadowing the positive, and that's not right. The positive is the Atlanta Hawks, because these guys are tough as hell. They were sub 500 in late February. Nobody thought that team was a playoff team, let alone a team that could make it to the conference finals, right? And then somehow that all changed. Somehow, some way, that all changed. Actually, I know exactly how that all changed. Nate McMillan stepped in, and he's a damn wizard. And I say that as somebody who really likes Lloyd Pierce. But this is a completely different team under Nate McMillan. Man, they are tough as hell, they're clutch as hell, and they are really, really good. And it's not just Trae Young, although Trae Young is amazing. They have guys like Kevin Huerter, the stone-faced assassin with maybe the best nickname in the entire association, Red Velvet. Red Velvet was smooth last night. Then Trae Young shook off a horrible shooting night to come up with a couple of huge plays. Man, it says so much about Trae. The guy could not make a shot. Could not make a shot. Did not matter. He has so many other ways to help his team and so many other ways to beat the opposition. And again, like any great shooter, it does not matter how many shots that this guy has missed leading up to the moment. If he's open or even if he's not, he's going to let it rip. The Hawks, man, they are so tough. They are so tough. They're on the road in a game where their star is not shooting well at all, and the entire team steps up until the star, who never gives in, who always thinks that the next shot is going down, no matter how many he's missed, finally does step up when they need it most, and he comes through. I mean, so impressive. So impressive. Trae is, and so are the rest of the Hawks. Really, really impressive and really tough. That's how you win a Game 7 on the road. That's how you advance to the conference finals for the first time in like forever, when no one anywhere outside that locker room saw that coming. And respect has been so slow in coming for these guys, and now that they're finally getting some, they're still not getting nearly enough. Look, I know it's really easy to say that Philly went into the tank under the pressure, but it was the young Hawks who applied that pressure, who put that pressure on them. They won games 5 and 7 in Philly. They went into MSG, and they shut the loudest, most hostile crowd in the league up. And then they did it again in Philadelphia, and now they're going to face the Bucks, and they've got a legitimate look at going to the NBA Finals. I mean, can you even imagine saying something like that? The Atlanta Hawks have a legitimate look at the NBA Finals in the year 2021. If you look at the numbers, the odds makers sure as hell don't think they've got any shot. But Jim Rome does. Hell, I like them enough that I just went third person on their ass. Because these guys aren't just good, man. They're tough. They're confident. And you got a team Twitter account taking a run at Philly and the process by posting 2 pics of Trae Young with the caption, quote, "Still processing this moment." End of tweet. And then on top of that, you got John Collins showing up to his post-game media availability, wearing a shirt with a photo of his Game 6 poster job on Joel Embiid. Man, that is so cool and really brass. So that's the Atlanta side of things. I want to make sure that before we do anything else and pile on Philly, you give Atlanta the credit they have so richly earned. Because then there is the Philadelphia side of things, and that side is ugly, like hideous, like revolting. Instead of trusting the process, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. Because it's not just about the fact that Philly lost Game 7 at home. That's bad enough. It was about this play, or should I say, the play that did not happen. The play that is going to echo from that game is the one that didn't even happen. The dunk that did not happen. Look, I'm not going to pretend to be inside the head of Ben Simmons on that play, but I'm pretty sure Ben Simmons was inside the head of Ben Simmons on that play. In fact, I know he was. I know he was, because I've never seen a guy so far in his own head like that guy on that play. This dude is so far in his own head, he practically came out the other side. You can hear the reaction, literally hear the reaction in the moment that it happens. Simmons has the defender back down. He spins baseline. He's open for the easiest dunk of his life, a dunk that's going to tie that game and rip the roof right off the building, and he doesn't do it. Either way, there's confusion, there's rage, there's anger. I mean, you could basically practically hear the entire city of Philly printing a plane ticket for Simmons to leave town. I mean, essentially that's the sound of everybody jumping online to start tweeting about trade rumors. What can we get for this guy? Who will take this guy? Hey, look, I know he's struggling with a shot right now. Really struggling. We know that he doesn't even want to take a shot right now. But that's not a shot. That's not a perimeter shot. That's not a mid-range shot. That's not a jump shot. That's a dunk. He's 6'10". He can throw that down with ease. That is the easiest shot he's ever going to have to take, and yet he kicks it out. Philly gets fouled. They only hit 1 of 2 free throws. Then they lose at home as the number 1 seed. Passing up a dunk in the fourth quarter that would have tied Game 7? Who does that? I got a better question. Who does that and then comes back to play for that same team next year? Because after that game, it sure didn't seem like his head coach or his teammates or his star teammate were looking to have him back or even have his back. Doc Rivers was asked if Simmons can be the point guard on a championship team, and this is what Doc said. Listen, it's a pretty honest answer, right? Because saying that you don't know the answer to that question is, in fact, answering the question, right? Let me decode for you what Doc Rivers said. Doc said, quote, I don't know the answer or the answer right now, so I don't know the answer to that. When he says that, what he's really saying is, no, Ben Simmons is not the guy for a championship team. Not when he doesn't even have enough confidence to throw down an uncontested dunk in Game 7 when we need it most. So that non-answer from Doc was the most obvious affirmative answer ever. Yeah, and as for Doc, things are not going so well for him either right about now. That's another bad playoff loss for him. And while the Sixers get knocked out in a series that most expected them to win, the team that he used to coach, the Clippers, are in the Western Conference Finals. So, hell yes, that's a bad look for Doc. Great coach, great dude, bad look. And yes, a chunk of this is on Doc, but again, even more so on Simmons. Like if Ben Simmons, a 3-time All-Star and allegedly one of the best players on the planet, doesn't want to take a dunk that could change the game, what is Doc supposed to do about that? Doc can't go out there and dunk it for him. If your number 2 player attempts a total of 3 shots in the fourth quarter, how much of that's on the head coach? And I'm not saying, this is incredible now, I'm not saying he attempted 3 shots in the fourth quarter last night. I'm saying he attempted 3 shots in the fourth quarter in the entire series. 2 for 2 in Game 1, 1 for 1 in Game 3, and that's it. Like, this dude is allergic to shooting it in the fourth quarter. And then back to the big fella, who you know I love. You know I love Joel. But Joel is not without blame either. He did turn it over 8 times, including the one that sealed the game for Atlanta. But at least he's not passing up dunks. At least he actually looks at the basket in the fourth quarter of games. So I got some really bad news for you, Philly fan. I know you want to run Simmons out of town on a rail. I get that. You're not wrong to feel that way. They should trade him because at this point, there's no way to trust the process. Unfortunately for you and the rest of the organization, after the way he played last night and in the series, there's no way you're going to get value for this guy, especially after last night. Even worse, you know what's going to happen? You move this guy, you don't get what you should get for this guy, and then somehow he ends up someplace else, and he does figure it out. What a horrible night for you. A horrible night for you, Philly fan. A worse night for the organization. And the worst night ever for Simmons. And it's only just beginning. And it's going to get a hell of a lot worse before it gets any better. Never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. Once again, man, it's one thing to lose confidence in your shot. It's one thing to not want to shoot it. A dunk is not a shot. I guess technically it goes in the books as a shot, but it's not a shot. When you're baseline and there's nobody between you and the basket and you're going to tie a game in Game 7 and you're that guy, throw it down, big man. And don't talk to me about how he's a pass-first guy. Don't talk to me about how it's the right basketball play. You know what the right basketball play is? Throwing it down, big man. The right basketball play is when you are baseline in a tight game in Game 7, you throw it down. That was an unbelievable thing, actually, to me to see. Like, unprecedented.